Welcome to my channel dedicated to upliftment, purpose, and insight. Join me as I share my journey from overcoming homelessness and multiple felonies to now multiple engineering degrees and becoming a lead avionics engineer at a Fortune 500 company. I will also share the spiritual tools that help me navigate life's toughest blessings and the lessons I learned. Plus, I'll take you on a field trip and introduce you to some of my soul tribe. Come along and dive into a life of spiritual bliss.
What I used to use in the past to help me meditate would be a timed guided meditation off YouTube, incense, and a comfortable chair. Now what I use are earplugs, incense, a comfortable chair, and a timer. Don't worry, I will go into details about these later on. One of the most important things that will assist you in your meditation is what is called mudras. Mudras are hand and finger positions that you use during meditation to help focus the mind. And actually, it's a seal as well. These hand gestures are somewhat similar to what gang members use. However, those particular mudras can and will evoke and seal in more negative demonic energy. Now, a way that you can tell that our hands actually have energetic points in them or chakras. I'll give you an exercise to do, a quick one. Take both of your fingers, put them right next to each other like this. Stare and imagine some electricity being shared between both of them. And sense it. And you will feel, which I'm feeling now, both of my fingers are heating up. Yes. So the more you do it, the more intense the energy is, and you'll literally feel the energy going between each of them. I can feel the tips of my fingers heating up. So that's just a little exercise to show you that, yes, our energetic field, everything is real. The energetic centers in our hand, the chakras in our hand are real. And so when we do these mudras, it actually touches certain chakra points or joins them together to actually create more of an energetic field around our body, which allows us to tap into more energy for concentration and everything else. Thanks. There are hundreds, and I mean hundreds, of various types of mudras. However, we're going to be reviewing a few mudras that I think are important. And now when you're choosing a mudra, you want to make sure you choose a mudra that feels more comfortable. So try each one, and then also you can Google your own to see which ones are not on the list or reviewed that you are comfortable with. So the definitions are here. I'm not going to read the definition. We're just going to go over the name because you can read the definition yourself. The first mudra is the Janar mudra. The second mudra, Samadhi. Third mudra, Buddhi. The fourth mudra, Prana. In the past, when I meditated, I would pull up a timed YouTube video. And I would normally search for in the beginning, I searched for like a 5 minute video, YouTube guided meditation video. And this guided meditation video would be me meeting my spirit guides or me meeting my highest self. And it would be a 5 minute timed video. And what I would normally do is that every week I would increase it 1.5 minutes until I got to a desired time of 30 minutes or 15 minutes where my brain won't be bouncing around, which is going to happen during meditation. And that's called monkey brain, when you're just sitting there and your brain automatically starts going into, oh my gosh, I got to pay bills. Oh, the kids, the car, I got to put gas in the car. That's going to happen. Trust me, it's going to happen. However, the point is acknowledging that and then just bring the focus back. It's easy. And it's going to take some time to get to it. Trust me, it will. And also, don't think that when you start meditating, that there's no benefit, that you don't see no benefit in the beginning. And the truth of the matter is, just because you don't physically see a benefit doesn't mean that there's not a spiritual benefit or benefit of the unseen that you do not notice. So trust me, there's definitely benefits even if you don't see them. One of the meditations that I would suggest is a guided meditation on Buddhist monks meditating the Om sound. And when I tell you this guided meditation, the sound will vibrate your body. It is no kidding one of the deepest, best videos or guided meditations that I've actually have listened to. So I definitely would recommend that video or that guided meditation. And now I'm actually up to 30 minutes of meditation where I can meditate for nothing with no noise at all. And again, please don't get discouraged in the beginning. Your brain, you will have monkey brain, guaranteed. However, thing is to be consistent, stay with it, and that monkey brain won't get as bad as you go on. It'll loosen up. Next thing you know, you're not thinking about bills as much, but it will happen in the beginning. And the thing of it is to acknowledge it and move on. Acknowledge that it's there and move on. The next thing you will want to do is make sure you have a comfortable chair. Now, the chair that I use has a back to it because I like to lean my back for the support of my back. Trust me, I done tried everything. I done tried a cushion. My leg got sleepy. I done tried a stool. My back wouldn't, it didn't feel good on my back because I needed the back support. So make sure you get the perfect chair, stool for you. For me, it's a chair, this comfortable chair that I got a pillow in, that I'm able to sit back and rest my back on it, which is really good because you want to make sure that you're sitting upright because of the way that the chakra systems work. Now, chakras is another video that I'll be posting a YouTube video about here shortly. The next thing I use is incense. The incense that I burn is frankincense, which I love, frankincense and myrrh. Now, the thing about incense is that it actually alters the vibration of your surrounding by eliminating the negative energy. It also helps in your connection of self and spirit. So, even when you look at movies, one of the things about especially ancient movies about, even if you see religious movies, you see them burning incense. Incense, is particularly frankincense and myrrh, no kidding, changes the vibration of your surroundings by clearing out the negative energy. So that's one of the things that I use, and it has helped me to stay focused during my meditation. Now, in the present, what I normally use are earplugs. Now, I don't like noise when I meditate, and I need to put earplugs in my ear because I'm very sensitive to noise, and the slightest thing will throw me off. So now I have to use earplugs to drown out all the noise because, again, I like it quiet. And now what I use also is a clock, a timer. And I'll set the timer. And now you're probably thinking, okay, well, how the heck can you hear the timer go off if you set it? Well, what I normally do is that I'll set the timer for 30 minutes. I'll zone out, do my meditation. And when I'm finished, when my body tells me, okay, I can't meditate no longer, I'm just wasting time, I'll get up and then I'll see how long I meditated for. And that's how I use the timer in my meditation. Welcome to my meditation process. I just want to give you a little back feel on how I got started, how long I've been doing it, what made me do it. So I've been meditating for about 20 years now, 2 decades. And it all started possibly, I believe, back when I was in grad school. And I've always been fascinated with meditation, how it works, what it is. And when I found out and I actually started doing it, it was the best thing since sliced bread. Truly. I've actually found many synchronicities that came about. And what I mean by synchronicities are things that you find yourself in places that you realize, oh, I actually needed this. So, case in point, I remember it was this book that I wanted to get called I believe it was Bhagavad or something. I remember hearing about it. Okay, I need to really get this book. It was about a couple of weeks. And I ended up having to travel, I believe, to work. I don't know where I went. I don't know if I went to LA. I forgot. Can't remember. But anyway, I'm going through the airport, and it was this book stand, and they were selling used books. And the guy said, "Hey, would you like to use book?" And something told me, "Okay, stop." So I stopped, talked to him. He says, "Well, we're selling used books for $15 or a donation." And I said, "Okay, I can give a donation." And he said, "You sure you don't want any books?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm sure." He says, "Well, take a look." And I was like, "All right, well, just let me see real quick because I got to get to my flight." So I was looking at the book. The first book I saw, I know it's backwards, but it was the actual book that I said that I wanted to read. So I was like, "Oh my gosh, okay, perfect." Got that book. So then, some time later, I remember, because I like to read. I remember I was kept telling myself I needed to read the Four Agreements again. Okay, I don't even know where the Four Agreements book was at. So I'm like, okay, I need to really get one. Traveling again, I was in the airport, and I said, okay, let me go to the bookstore so I can get a pair of reading glasses and a book to read. So I'll go, look at the reading glasses, grab a pair, and then looked at the books, and what did I see? This one, but this is the Fifth Agreement. So another synchronicity. So that's what I mean by synchronicities. And another one would be, before I moved into this apartment that I'm at, which is downtown, because I love living downtown. I was living in another apartment, and which is not too far from here. So as I was about to move and was looking for another apartment, I noticed that these apartments was being built that I'm in. And I said, "Oh my gosh, those look amazing. Overlook the water, right on the main street, which is Monument. I can see everything. You can see everything." And so I'm like, wow, I really want to move into those apartments. So fast forward, I'm talking to the leasing manager in my old apartment. I'm like, I really want to move, but I don't know where I want to move to. And I'm thinking. So she says, "Well, why don't you move into our sister apartment?" And I was like, "Your sister apartment? Where is that?" And she said, "This apartment building that they just built." And she was like, "You don't have to worry about any the transition to be smoothness because it is a sister property. You don't have to worry about anything." Perfect. Done deal. Moved. Everything was perfect. Amazing. So then I decided, because I live in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. So before I moved in, I was like, okay, let me see if I can get a roommate. I'm 50 plus, 53. So I chose my cousin. We're both in our 50s. She's a female with a son who's older. So she was all gung ho, and when we got in the apartment and started experiencing life together, there were quite a few examples of, damn, that's why we are roommates, because it's been some personal things that has happened in her life and my life that just matched up, in which she could help me with, in which I could assist her with. Amazing. And then one of the last things I want to share is, I remember when I was looking to get into meditation, I was like, okay, let me, look into Buddhism. Where is a Buddhist temple? And I don't know. I'm in small Dayton. So I ended up leaving my apartment one day and going down this street that I'd never been down. I was like, I thought I was lost. And so I looked to the left, and what did I see? A sign that said Buddhist temple. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, this is it. So of course, pulled up into it and been practicing Buddhism ever since. So some of the benefits that I've gotten from meditation has been amazing. One of the things that has helped me with is, especially if you do it consistently, I'm able to feel the subtle changes in somebody else's energy. And I remember this one time I had my young cousin stand with me, Man. He was 16 at the time. And I remember him coming into the house because he had a problem with smoking weed. And I was getting on him. And he was like, no, I'm not doing it anymore. No, I'm not doing it. All right, fine, perfect. So he came in the house one day after school. It was about 6 o'clock. And he walked in. He walked right up to me while I was in the kitchen cooking, which I love to do. And he said, hey, cuz, what's going on? I was like, nothing. What you up to? He started talking. Then I walked past him and I stopped. I was like, you're high? And he was like, no. And I was like, yeah, you are. I can sense it, you know. And he was shocked because he thought that he could get it over. But no, you literally, when I meditate, because I like to work from a place of I, not from everybody else. When I meditate, I'm able to feel someone else's energy extremely easy because then I can differentiate it from my own because the meditation helps me to personalize my energy in which I can feel someone else's, allows me to feel someone else's and tap into someone else's energy and do quite a few things in regards to reading their energy. But the meditation has been amazing. I'm not going to keep you guys, so enjoy the video. Thanks. Much love.